Sorry about that. We just have technical issues, right? The modern technology problems. So we don't have that kind of power and make the qi flow, right? So the metabolic function apply for the internet is so difficult. I wish I can do that, then everything will digest through these problems, right? So let us start over again, right? Last issue, last session, we have talked about the qi for the pain, right? So because from qi angle, we understand entire pain differently. Now today, we are continue through the lens of the qi, through the path of the qi, try to discover what is the real problem about metabolic function disorder. Once we talk about the metabolic function disorder, people always think about that, oh yeah, the weight issues, digestive system issues, maybe other kind of high cholesterol, hypertension, all the other what you can name issues. That's just one angle. But if you, through the qi angle, the entire metabolic function disorder will change the colors, will change different views, right? So that's exactly it's the modern science. So when you change the time, you see different space, right? Because the qi is the different time. You from the different time, when you look at the same space will change. So now we change from the different angles to look at the metabolic function disorder. So the first you must understand, when we talk about that, which is from the entire, when you say the functional medicine point of view or Chinese medicine point of view, when we say this is called a metabolic function disorder, it's not just only digestive system itself. They must include one of the major system, which is the liver and the gallbladder. Without the liver and the gallbladder cooperate, right? The cooperate and 100% support your digestive system, the entire metabolic function doesn't function perfectly. What's that mean? People say. Think about it. After you eat dinners, you suddenly feel stomach bloating. So what's that bloating means? Something doesn't processing, right? Something stuck. So we say stuck, right? Stagnation. So that concept, you always thinking, oh, my digestive system is so poor, right? But it's not your digestive system so poor. It's your liver function doesn't help your digestive system smooth out or processing out the food what you just eat. So that's why you feel stomach bloating. Now think this way. You just have a very stressed meetings. After meeting, your emotions get crazy or get too off the chart. So what's happening? You lack of your appetite, right? So the emotions can impact to your entire digestive system immediately, right? You don't have to do special way. All you need emotions change. You lost the appetite. How come? Emotions associated with the liver function, right? If anyone have that kind of difficult understand, go back to the last couple issues. So we talk about the liver function in women's health, right? We talk about the last issue, we talk about the pain in women's health, right? So the women's health, the most important organ is the liver. So that's why I make it women's so different. Because the liver function, so the same liver, man has a liver, woman has a liver, but the woman's liver function is more sensitive than the man, generally speaking. So that's why emotions will change very easier way to see in women's life, right? So almost like your radios, so sensitive, right? You can little bit tiny things, you can receive the information, right? So the liver is the receiver, allow your body changes. Now, because the liver must cooperate with the entire digestive system. So if liver doesn't function right, your digestive system is not functioning right. I'll give you another example. You can see how does liver deal, right? So one of the common condition, what we call the IBS, right? Irregular bowel syndromes. So you often thinking it's your colon issue. You might thinking it's your digestive system issue. But in the Chinese medicine point of view, or from the energetic point of view, or from the qi point of view, it's a totally different picture, right? So you can say because your emotions change, so that emotions impact to your liver function, then the liver function will impact to your digestive system function. Then your body just show the symptoms. Your body must releasing the stress, right? One angle, yes, you have IBF, you constantly run to the bathroom, uncomfortable, cause the stomach pain, right? So once you relieve that, you feel better. So it's not just a physical feel better, right? It's the symptoms feel better. It's the feeling get better. So the elimination also eliminate your emotions, stress, right? One angle is the disease and illness or symptoms. The other angle is, wow, you have a great protection system. You have a great defense system because your body knows how to releasing the stress. You see, how do I play these yin-yang principles, right? That's complementary medicine. That's why how to use, apply into metabolic functions disorders, right? So think of the other angle, what we say. Think of the other, how simple it is, right? As a reflex, how simple it is. Just a simple concept. People think it's a disease. But if you're thinking completely different concept, it's still is associated with your liver function, right? So that's why last time I spent a lot of time in liver's function, try to help you guys understand why women's health so important in the liver function. Because the liver function disorder causes your emotions, right? So the liver function disorder is caused by emotional function disorder. Because your emotional change and your liver function change. Then the liver with the stomach, which is digestive system, the relationship change. Right? Once the relationship, what's happening? Then as a reflex becomes symptoms. It's the signs, right? It's not a cause, it's an effect. So that's why we try to fix the problem, but we never fix the problem. Because what? We treat the symptoms. We treat the effect. We think the effect is a cause. So therefore, you never can real fix the problem. You only can cover the symptoms, eliminate symptoms. Now think of this, even you take a medication as a reflex be under control, then why, when you go to the party, why you start fighting with your ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, then as a reflex getting worse, why you in a divorce and something will happen again as a reflex become worse. Think this way. You're under the medication, supposed should be good. No. The real problem hasn't fixed yet. So the liver qi still impact to your stomach qi or digestive system qi. So therefore, problem still come and rise. Right. So once we talk, I go back to the metabolic function. We always thinking food we can eat, right? How to digest. So we always thinking how to put things into the body, right? Yes, somehow at the physical level, you are what you eat. Absolutely true. But at the energetic level, you are what you think, right? You are not just what you eat, you are also what you think. It's more important because everything's energy, right? So you say, I eat the food. I say, you eat energy. So what do you see? So once you're thinking this way, then food is real important or energy is very important. So what is the real important and make your entire digestive system different? Emotions. Right? So you see, as today, there are many good devices and tell you how to avoid, the metabolic function disorder, metabolic disease, right? Eat well. That's true. You can eat healthy food. But can you digest the healthy food? Can you absorb the healthy food? It's very easy to put things into the mouth. But it's not easy to make everything put in the mouth your body can absolutely digest, right? So in order to increasing your entire digestive systems, you must understand the levels of your metabolic function, right? So include, do you have appetite? Which means, can you eat? Do you want to eat? Right? We all know your emotions can impact your appetite, right? So that's why the first is, do you have appetite? So the appetite becomes symptoms or becomes signs to see, does your body, does your metabolic function increasing, right? When you're getting sick, what's happening? You lost appetite. You catch a cold, you lost appetite. Right? So even today, you get COVID, what's happening? You lost appetite. Right? Once you're getting better, first things is to show, oh, I have appetite. Right? So that's why ancient time they give you chicken soup. Right? So what? The nutrition. Yes, they think of the nutrition. Do you have appetite? Even delicious food in front of you. I don't have appetite. So the appetite become signs to see, do you have a desire? So the appetite is not a mind. It's the signs of your metabolic function, the levels of your metabolic function, right? So the after appetite, yeah, you can have good appetite. So you just put things into your mouth. But can you digest? So yes, you might can digest, you can go through the processing, you can digest, still doesn't mean you can absorb it, right? So what's that mean? That means you eat the food, you digest, by next day you go to the bathroom, then you see a lot of food you passed. You just coming out the body, right? You can take so many supplements. Does your body can absorb the supplements? Think of this way. Right? You go to the nutritionist, then they analyze you. They say, oh, you have this deficiency, A deficiency, B deficiency, vitamin C, vitamin D. You can pump many things into the body, right? But do you know, does your body can absorb this? And then do you know what's the requirement allow you processing all of these things? You don't, right? You only know what you're missing. But you don't know, can you absorb this, right? So to absorb this also is the one of the signs to see, do you have good metabolic function, or called the function, the level of your metabolic function, right? So you have to think in this way. So can you absorb it? So after you absorb it, now the highest level is, can you distribute it? Right? Even you absorb the nutrient, yes, you do absorb it. But if you don't know how to distribute this energy, the nutrients or essence to exactly the organ, exactly the location, the place your body needs, what's happening? They turn it to the fat. They turn it to the something else stuck in your body. Right? So you see that this way, so the people gain weight. Right? They put the things to the wrong place. You must think in this way, right? You say, oh, you have a calcium deficiency. You have, the bone deficiency. What are you going to do? You take the calcium pills. You wish you can strengthen the bones. Does it do that way? Most people know doesn't, right? No matter how much you take it, but doesn't go there because what? Distribute. your distributive system, which is also included in the level of the metabolic function. So you must thinking this entire big picture if you truly want to know what is metabolic function disorder, right? So it's not just the food what you eat, right? So first, in my opinion, to change this is change the mind, right? To understand which is your belief, real impact to you. Because the bottom line is emotions. Then it's emotions, then definitely it's the liver function. So instead to focus on what kind of food you eat, what kind of exercise you are to do, yes, they are very important. And the lifestyle, yes, they are all important. But they are small pieces of things, not big things. Right? The big things is what? It's your emotions. It's your beliefs, right? If you can decrease in your stress, you don't care. You can eat junk, right? Sometimes junk food tastes good, right? I always tell my patient, hey, eat junk food, who cares, right? Because you're happy. Think about it. What things can make you happy? Junk food, right? Sometimes, right? Talk about the sugar. Now think of this entire whole concept as today, right? Overweight, we always think about the associate with the sugar. So you cut off the sugar, right? Why so many people, right, want to have a sugar? Sweet drink, sweet. We think sweet is not good. Somehow, I think sweet is good. From the Qi point of view, you craving the sugar. That means your body system, your entire metabolic function system still alive. I give it this. That's called science of your body still have a hope. As long as you're craving the sugar, it's the natural way, right? Most women during the minute, the cycle come, right? So you're craving the sweet. How come? Right? Because the taste, the sweet taste, is the science, your body natural science to tell you, hey, I need this sweet. My liver function needs sweet to help. You under the stress, what things sweet can help you, right? Because the sweet can help the liver function calm down and the peace. So that's why the sweet body craving the sweet is the natural processing. And then definitely you eat too much sweet doesn't do because the level of the entire metabolic function too low. It's not a sweet problem. It's the function itself a problem. It's emotions problem. It's the liver function problem. That is the real problem behind the entire metabolic function disorder. Right. So therefore we can go through this part again. So people say lose weight, all right, change your diet and fasting, all of these technique to help you to the next level. You try many different kind of diet, you try many different ways to try to lose weight because your doctor tell you, hey, you better lose weight, otherwise you might have a metabolic function, metabolic disease. Yes, you tried it, you do this exercise, you do that, when you lose the weight, you gain it back. How come? Because the real problem hasn't real fixed, right? You just force the body to do this instead to see how can I enhance the body, how can I see entire big picture to understand cooperation, to understand each organ's purpose. Right? In the Chinese medicine, we use 5-element consciousness framework. The 5 elements is major elements. These elements are associated with the major organ, your heart, your liver, your stomach, your lung, and your kidney. The 5 major organs, right, have my 5 major essence, 5 major tastes, 5 major colors. All of this is the science. And it let you see. It's a framework, allow you to follow it. So you have to understand one thing, is everything is connected. So if you want to go down the natural healing, if you truly want to use complementary medicine, right, then you better think everything is connected. instead of just focus on the diet. Focus on small things. Once you focus the diet, then you still need to thinking, what is the requirement? We talk about the diet. We talk about the digestive system, right? People always eating, so, oh yeah, you want a healthy food, eat the lettuce. Think of this entire whole concept. Energy. I still go back to the qi, it's the energy, right? So you eat, what do you eat? You eat the qi, you eat the energy, right? So we need the energy. On concept that you eat the food, so you wish from the food, you can processing, absorb the energy from the food, right? So we use this energy from the food to nurture our body. That's the whole concept. That's the digestive system. So the more energy can contain in the food, is the better food is. It is. So that's why we are choosing to what? Organic food, right? So now think of this. If you say you constantly eat lettuce, you want to lose weight, you think it's a healthy food, you're going to eat. I always make a joke. How long takes a lettuce to grow as today? Greenhouse, if it grow in the water, 30 days. 30 days you can get this lettuce. 30 days in the greenhouse. How much energy the lettuce can absorb from the entire nature? Think this way, right? We come to the American never have some way they say 1 letter a day keep a doctor away. Do they say that? They don't say that. They say 1 apple a day keep a doctor away. Why? Why 1 apple a day keep a doctor away? The apple itself take an entire whole year. It's 360 days, right? So think of this. Apple doesn't come out of this growth. They need winter to entire absorb the energy processing in the tree. The apple tree only harvests 1 apple entire whole year, which is 1 apple takes 306 days to get. So how much energy? Think this way. How much energy contained inside of the apple? And compared for the letter, if you are looking for the food, can give you more energy, right? So that's why we're saying thinking this way once eating for the energy, right? And the other things you have to understand, one more thing, which is entire digestive system. In order this system function, right? The system itself doesn't like a cold. It doesn't like cold. They love a warm food. So if you constantly give it a ice, give it a cold drink, your body, yes, for survival, body can do. But your body never reach the highest level. So therefore, your body contains so many cold essence. How do you know your body has a cold? How do you know you have a problems? Touch your hand. If your hand and the feet always feel cold, even summer, you still feel cold, you know your digestive system has a cold. If your menstrual cycle has a pain, that means your liver has a cold. If you suffer in arthritis, you know your body has a cold. The cold essence is one of the most enemies in a healthy body. Right? So you have to try to avoid, if you want to have a healthy digestive system, if you want your metabolic function get the highest level, you must avoid the cold. So that's why the ginger is the best. Ginger tea, now today it's easy to buy. Most food stores sell the ginger now. Before you only can go to the Asian store. Now you don't. Even Amazon sells the ginger now. How good it is. Right? Drink the ginger tea will be the better. Right? So the warm essence is very good for your metabolic function. So you need thinking entire differently from the qi concept, right? The qi love warm. Qi doesn't like a cold. Yes, they have a cold, but that's nature's cold, which is now it's winter. It's nature's cold. Nature has the nature's law. We have to follow, right? Healing has the healing law. We have to follow. So if we are focused on, we want to deal, we want to face into the metabolic disease, we must understand what is the truth behind, what is the major organs behind this metabolic function disease, right? It's not just the digestive system, particularly we are facing to the women's health. Liver function is the key. Liver function is the most important function in entire women's health. I hope this information can help you and change your entire views to understand metabolic function disease. Thank you very much. See you next time.